Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Othree. Welcome back to Platicas. This is Platica number 13. It's April 13. I'm here back with my boy DSteezy, fucking rapper, mogul, everything. How you been, dog? What's been popping? I know it has only been like a couple weeks, but was I know shit moves fast, especially for us. How you been, dog?
I'm good, yo. And I feel like it's been longer than that. I think it's been like a month, month and a half. Like, I don't know. I could be very wrong, but it is what it is. But I'm chilling. I feel good. I look good. I look better than I did last time. You know what I mean? Um, it's a good year, you know?
Yeah, it has been a month. Fool. I uploaded our last Platica number 9, March 17th. So that means we record. I remember we recorded on March 9th. Yeah, it's been like more than a month now. So,
Yeah. A month and a
welcome,
couple days, but it's all
yeah,
the same.
welcome back. Um, what's popping, dollars? We talked about. Let's see, talked about your roots. We talked about pretty much the introduction Platica, right? Talked
Hmm.
about your history with certain organizations where we met, where our journey as homies began. Kind of touched a little bit on music. I really want to
Hmm.
focus this plática on music and
Okay.
less on the uh nonprofit work, less on that kind of tip. We'll recover. We'll start covering other shit like redlining and all the good shit and different uh episode, because I mean, obviously, I didn't give you time to prepare because obviously, like, I in my head, I
You
already
never
knew,
do.
like, yeah.
You
No,
never
I gave
do.
you some notes. I gave you some notes for last
Oh
time,
yeah,
dog.
yeah, 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 yeah. You did, you
And
did, you did.
and
My
so I
bad.
usually give people notes, right? But this time I was like, it's music for like this is like can't really prepare, you
Hmm.
because it's something that's already engraved into your soul, and you just got to be able to put that into words. So we'll talk about some music today. Don't know how long it'll be. I don't really put a set timer on it. Usually, I try to keep them within an hour. Our last plática was about like an hour 40, so
2 hours here.
almost there. But shit, when we met, obviously it was around the time 2012, 2013. Let's talk about your music during that time, because I know you were recording some shit and you helped record some of my project. But what was
Yeah.
what was like? Because we never really talk like our friendship with music or whatever came after, like years after, because then we didn't really talk about what you were doing. It was almost like we were just fucking scattered and different things. But did you have like a project put out somewhere, maybe like fucking the original SoundCloud, like the first days of SoundCloud and shit?
I don't think. Yeah, yeah. So I did have music out, but I had music out with my people I grew up with, my brothers. We're a group called Out of Control Dudes, aka OCD, and we've been putting out music I think since like '09 or um, it's still around the time of 2013, 2014. So it's always off and on. We never had the opportunity as of yet to do a group project. And I think what we're going to do is not the black hippie route. We've all been kind of doing music. Shout out to C Wins. I've been doing music. SB, he drops music every now and then. And Domino normally records with us, but he'll freestyle all day, every day. Um, and he streams now on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, excuse me. What's that thing called? Twitch. And so you can catch Domino freestyling on there every now and then. But other than that, um, like what I meant by Black Hippie is that I just saw the Schoolboy Q interview clip of on Breakfast Champ. What is it called? Damn, Drink
Drink
Champs.
champs, yeah.
Woo, something wrong with me.
Combining shit
Uh,
or
yeah, yeah, breakfast stuff and drink
yeah.
champs. Breakfast champs. Hey, that shit probably go hard eating breakfast and talking. Anyway,
And that'd be the name of
yo,
your podcast, dog. Breakfast champ.
uh,
All fucking crudote, dog. Two Modelos back to back to secure the hangover. Oh, yeah, any continue? My bad.
damn, you a fool, yo. So he was talking about like that time has came and went, and so we'll never get an album. They're older now and stuff like that. I think that would be dope. So we far older than what we were when we first started making music, and now I'm at a happy place with it. And so during that time, I think we had a song called LA Days. Project X. Uh, we have Hurry, a song called Wet to Wetter. Um, it's a few more. Wins and I got one with Big Ghost called Girls Girls. Um, we also got one called Buy Out the Bar. And then Let's Ride. So we have a few songs that are like OG for us. You know what I mean? That still a lot of people haven't heard that we still have. They're not uploaded or anything like that or re-uploaded. And so I normally go back and listen to them. Project X is one of my favorites. Verses that I created with C Wins and Domino and SB. I like it. Again, OCD the group. I love that verse. I love the verse I did on LA Days as well. Um, those were the early stages of me still finding my voice, and I'm still trying to find my voice through consistency. But other than that, I think that's about it. Oh, and the music I made with you all at the PYFC at the Pico Youth and Family Center, and then a couple tracks here and there I did just randomly with folks as well. One of my all-time favorites though is one I did with uh homegirl Brittany or Miss B. We redid a Kid Cudi song. That shit got lost in the vault. And
Yeah.
I just never let that go on my mind. That verse I'll never forget. It was me, SB, and her. She sang some uh a hook to the, it was similar to what he had. I had some issues that you wouldn't believe. And I just never forget it because I remember she's like, all right, which one of y'all gonna get on it? And SB was like, no, you get on. I was like, no, you get on it. And then like I I mean, I remember I kept drinking and drinking till I got drunk, and I'll never forget. I started the verse like, "I know you love me, baby." Uh, what I say? I know you love me, baby. I don't know, but it was deep. It was deep, and I was like, "Damn, I got bars." Like low key, like,
Yeah.
and but it took me to. I never forget. It took me to. Oh yeah, I said, "I know you love me, baby, but let me speak. I'm stuck in between with destiny and death meet."
Yeah.
Like
That's
that
some
shit was
drunk shit,
crazy.
dog. That's a drunk
It was
bar, dog.
crazy, yo.
Uh,
I was like, but it was just so dope. I remember my ex at the time. I remember I went to her crib in LA and I was like, I got something. Like, I want you to hear. And I think I might have had it on my phone. I don't think I did. Never heard it. It was lost. A hard drive crash.
that shit, it's common, dog. It's real common. I had an old laptop, like laptop that I had in college, and it's all fucked up, but I was able to access it, and I was able to extract a lot of all the songs that I had there since like 2010, and I found at least like one song that I had recorded even before I was 03, like when I was just still experimenting. That was before like I even took it, like started taking it serious.
Hmm.
So there's like 93 songs in the vault that I have on my iTunes, just
That's dope.
that I've never that would some of them saw the light of day, and I was just like, eventually I just started taking them down because obviously, we had them on SoundCloud, Bandcamp. Some of them were even on
Hmm.
fucking MySpace. Like that's like the last breathing days of MySpace in 2009 and shit. Like it was just uh it wasn't as organized, where we used to release shit.
Yeah.
Because there were platforms would drop all the fucking time. We put it here, we put it there, blah blah blah. But speaking of platforms during your OCD days, like your was it Out of Control Dudes? This is when the
Hmm.
early
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the process of making the music back then. Where would you I know you would record sometimes at the PY, sometimes at Virginia Avenue Park, but besides those two places, where would you record at? Did you have one of those grimy ass setups and shit somewhere?
Yeah. Yo. I got a picture. Can you? Oh yeah, this will be fire. I'm gonna send you this link if you can share your screen to play it, or can I share? I can share my screen, right?
Yeah, you could share your screen.
I got you. Here we go.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about
So,
this. Let's talk about this.
so
What the fuck is it? What am I looking at for? You got, is
you
that a
looking at,
fucking,
bro? That's an OG Windows laptop, a microphone, a mic stand with a speaker at the bottom with some Gatorade and water on it. That was me recording for myself.
Not even like a fucking like a soundproof behind it, just straight grimy.
Nah, yeah, for sure,
I'm not gonna lie to you, for this how my setup used to look like, dog. But you know, my
bro.
cousin taught me a trick back in the day, like even before I had a pop filter, or I had a pop filter, but he was like to block out the noise from the back, put a sock on top of it.
So look, I never knew that. So look, I gotta find some pictures now because, like, when I went to Atlanta to visit my brother 2 years ago,
Yeah,
he had some crutches, and I have the eyeball, and
yeah.
so I grinded it out too. There, I had took my laptop, I had hooked it up to it. I had to put the crutches like this and the eyeball on it, and then I was like, I had the TV going. I took a picture of that setup because I was just traveling and I needed to like do a mic stand basically.
So that's some
Um,
fucking grimy shit. That's some grease
uh,
ball shit, dog. I
You
love
know
it.
what? You know what else is crazy? We just used to
Uh,
record in the homie C Win's room. It used to be hot as hell on Second Ave and Adams. He used to have a room smaller than my apartment, bro.
yeah.
Like my little studio joint, bro. And we used to be have to be quiet, cut all the fans off, like record. He had it on his dresser and like the bro. And then that picture was the room I was in, but we used to have his laptop, those kitchens with the bar and you could see through the kitchen to the stove and shit. We used to have like a monitor right there, and then we'll have like he had ended up getting one of these what do you call it, like an interface, but like a Slack or whatever you call it, like a row. He had got one of those because we was always recording off like inboxes or something. But then he had got like a studio thing that he had got, and so we started recording off that. We had that shit hooked up to a radio, some type shit, and then next thing you know, because that's what we used to mix and master, and then through the aux and shit. So look, so one day my crazy ass like, bro, we gotta try to make a booth. So we had this window, right? So the everything we recorded with right there with that little bar and counter was right there. So on the left was a corner window. The door to the living room was right here behind, like next to the window. But we had that little corner. So we had grabbed like this white blanket, hit nailed that shit to the wall
Yeah.
in the corner, and then we'll just go in there and like just record, bro, and then come out.
Yeah.
That was our little booth. So it did
Yeah.
provide some sound dampening type shit. You know what I'm saying? Some noise cancellation. And we'll record it there, bro. That shit was crazy. And then we had enough living room space for people to just wait and chill, just be quiet. You know what I mean? That dude. But then it was funny because one day, uh, all the music we was making, the neighbors downstairs used to hear his rap. Just
Damn.
out there in the like fucking ceiling was, I guess, under us. Like, you know what I mean? That shit was crazy. But yeah, we used to have some crazy setups, yo. Yeah, but you know what's so grimy now, which is crazy? Bro, I record off my cell phone.
I know. That shit is fucking crazy to me, dog.
You couldn't even fathom that back in the day.
I know, dog. Like I
Somebody would probably
remember,
clown you. Like,
bro,
you know what I'm
the
saying?
fact that you have this like beautiful fucking setup for your gaming and this all this shit, but you still have to record off for your phone. There's something wrong, bro. There's something wrong with that picture, dog. Because I remember when I pulled up in November,
Oh
I was
yeah.
expecting like to do that shit like real clean, fucking smooth, de voladas. My boy talking about like, hey yo, I gotta plug in my motherfucking jack to my phone. I gotta plug in the aux to the phone. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, I got Pro Tools and everything. You see what I'm saying? But I
Yeah,
just record through the phone.
bad
I'm
lap.
about to start. I'm about to start using Pro Tools though because I I wanna it's about that time to find my settings. Like I'm realizing like all my new music, I'm like raw vocals.
Hey, can you put two
Pause.
people on that? Can you put two people on a Pro Tools account?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We got to holla at me though, because I was thinking about trying to do it for my big brother because
I
he in
mean,
Atlanta.
yeah, I've been trying to think about it. Like, I don't know about Pro Tools. I used to work with Logic. I know how to use Logic.
You got it?
I used to when I used to have a Mac. Now I just have a regular PC, but I'm still debating on what to do because I don't. I pay somebody to mix and master my shit, so I don't do it
Yeah.
myself. You know? So like I just been using some shit called Audacity, real
Oh
free
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I
Just to
mean,
record the vocals.
everything is one and the same, to be honest. Like when it comes to like stop, record, play, plugins.
Yeah,
But what I learned is that most people don't really record in Logic like we do, or like I used to.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
because
I
I
know
don't
that's
know why.
rare. Yeah.
They normally make beats in it, but they normally like don't really record vocals in it. But Pro Tools, I think you can just do it all. And it's more like it's like an industry standard.
Standard. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
it's so different, bro. Like I can't like Logic will teach you like how to use everything easily, basically. Like
quick.
after you get Logic, yeah, you get Logic, you could do any other DAW. Like that's simple. Like you know what I mean? But when you try to take what you know, like in terms of how to record, how to cut, how to paste, you try to take that to the Pro Tools, not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening, my boy.
Yeah.
Like not happening at all. Like that's just crazy. So that's why I need to and I spent so much money on shit. I need to like you know, trying to make that money back. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I'll do some research. Maybe we get like a couple heads on there, dog. Like I don't know how that works, because I know everything's cloud based now.
yeah, but you only get two licenses. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
They nice enough.
that's the
Yeah,
plan. Yeah.
everything normally is nice enough to give you like one computer and maybe one more just in case, like type shit. But it ain't giving you like 4 or 5 computer options at all.
I mean, I got other people that need some shit. I'll probably go
Yeah.
on
You do
business with
half
them.
is 250, 250. I think it's about 600 or like $500 for the
A year.
full. Yeah, a year for the full shit.
That's cool.
Everything.
I'd rather do one full payment in a year instead of having to do that shit by month.
Hmm.
That shit takes away so like it alleviates the pressure and shit. But
Yeah.
speaking of going back to the whole setup shit, dog, like so after that,
Hmm.
right, that should record a lot of the OCD music on that setup in that living room.
No, not that setup. That was just me practicing.
All right.
We had various setups that recorded that music. More than likely, it was a Mac laptop in the inbox. I think inbox is like M audio. I think
Yeah.
that's what we had at the time.
I know what you're talking about.
Or we just like I said, we just had an interface. I know
Yeah.
that was the M audio for a long time. That was the M audio mic because I had got let go of my job I was at. And I was like, damn, well, we said we're gonna record. So I remember I bought a mic stand, bought a mic, and bought the interface. Upgraded us a little bit.
Did you ever fucking did you ever record like on a one of those headsets and shit?
Um,
Like you know what I'm talking about, like the gaming headsets or some shit like that?
nah,
Nah.
nah,
So you've always recorded on a fucking on a mic, like a
yeah.
mic. Yeah, that's dope.
Um,
I've had some crazy setups too. For I'm not even gonna lie to you, dog. My first song I recorded for was with Logic. It was one of those. I don't know if you ever seen these fucking mics, but it's like a bass and it has a stick coming out, like one of those like telecommunications microphones and shit.
hell nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll send you a picture after. That's just pretty fucking insane, dog. And then after that, it was a headset. Then after that, my brother used some of his financial aid money to buy one of those those snowballs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The the
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
snowball. I forgot
yeah.
what brand it is from, but it's a Chaotica snowball or some shit. I think that's what it's
The
called.
eyeball. Yeah.
Nah, nah, not that. It was something else. It was a
I
snowball. It's
mean,
a mic.
oh, okay, 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 okay.
It was
I
a
thought you
mic. It
meant
wasn't a. It wasn't that shit. That shit's pretty new, dog. Like I don't know when they released that shit. And then after that, I got a mic, but it was my setup. My first like real setup looked like the picture you sent me, dog. It was just the laptop and the microphone. No fucking none of that milk crate fucking foam shit in the back.
yeah,
Echoed to the max, dog. Just in my room by myself, learning how to record on Audacity, and then obviously like whenever I got to go to the PY, but the PY used to use Pro Tools, and then somehow they changed to fucking Logic event at some point, and that's why I started learning how to use Logic because of Soul.
yeah.
So he taught me
Oh,
how to use
that's
Logic.
where I learned too over there. and learn
Yeah.
how to make beats.
And so like I just stuck with Logic or Audacity because it was real simple, it was free and shit. And then I like the craziest setup I've ever had for, I'm not even gonna lie to you, dog, was in college, my senior year. For I had a fucking it was a milk crate and I had two broomsticks, but fucking like going through the fucking through the holes of the milk crate. The milk crate was weighed down by a 25-pound weight, like a weight, like a free weight.
Yeah.
And at the top for like the two broomsticks, fool, they would like hold the mic together and I taped them the fuck up, dog. It was on
That's
some
what I was saying. Remember, I
that
just said
shit.
I did
That
the
was
whole
or you did
I
that shit
did
with
the
the
whole
crutches. That's the first
the
thing I thought
crutches,
about.
yeah.
Some fucking grimy, fucking sad ass shit. But hey, it worked, dog. It fucking works. You know, whatever works. Funny ass setups and shit. But at that time, I was still using Audacity. You know,
Well, you
and
think about it, like you didn't really need too much back then, and
it
you still
didn't.
don't need too much now. Like,
It
you know what I'm
don't.
saying?
Yeah, it
So
don't.
it's kind of crazy. I mean, if you want more of a studio sound, a more professional sound, then you go ahead and do that, which is still cool. You know what I mean? It don't really matter. But if you want to, it's like what I had to learn. So we talking about grimy setups and like music. So what I had to learn was back in the day when YG and them had Pusher's Inc. and everybody was just dropping music, my mind couldn't fathom the thought of music not being mixed and mastered. Like people was just dropping music, which again, it to know to no satisfaction of me and my homies. Like look where they are versus where we are. Like you know what I mean? Because they kept dropping music. Like we wanted to try to get it perfected to be better, right? But at the end of the day, um, the rawness of music is different. Like if you listen to the Weeknd's mixtapes, uh, before he got like, let's say mainstream known, before he became a household name, he was still like internet popping and becoming a household name. It wasn't mixed and mastered. Now they have a studio version of it. The first three mixtapes, you can hear a difference in sound quality for sure. Pharrell and them when they did what's that their first album, Nerd in Search of NERD, they had they had a digital version and then they had an actual live version where they actually played the instruments. That instrument version go way harder than the digital version. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the rawness of music, depending on how it's being cultivated and like given to you, is what you'll like. But not everything is meant to be put in plastic, wrapped up, and shipped to you. Like, you know what I mean? And so I think if people get out that mindset and just learn how to just paint or create and let it be, then you'll appreciate um the art for what it is. But then you could also take it and look at it and be like, damn, if I did that with this, how can I do that with this? And then right with the actual like high quality material, you feel me? So the last thing I'll say about this is like I was going around looking for uh settings, right? And it was funny because I went to Reddit, randomly stumbled across a Reddit thing. Damn, my eyebrow going crazy right here. Um, so uh somebody was looking for Drake settings. And they're like, yo, like you'll never be able to achieve those settings unless you have a studio. You know what I mean? Somebody was like, the person was like, well, I got this and that and the third. They're like, yo, that's cool, but you don't have the actual high functioning, high quality studio. And then somebody puts something again, then the person goes, here, check this out. Showed this interview clip of Noah 40 talking about how he was mixing, mastering, or try to mix and master one of Drake's first albums. And he said he was in America looking for at the top engineers and everything, and he didn't like him. He said he had to go back to Canada where he was from and found this black dude with long hair, like dreads and all that, and been working with that man ever since because he was the best at what he could do and he could only do what he could do. And I was like, this is crazy. Like they even showed him with some white dude, and when he first connected with him, because sometimes this is what we don't understand being from the barrio. You know what I'm saying? Like like we like, oh, we could do this and that. Some of this shit, like right here, how we talking, they have to actually build that shit because what's out don't even do what they wanted to do. And so when you begin to understand that when it comes to music, or yeah, yeah, in music, you'll change your mindset. Like, like they'll tell you, auto tune was never meant for like seven people on the stage singing auto tune. They had to build those rigs. People
Hmm.
don't talk about that. When you see Kanye West at a live show, bro, they build stacks of rigs for that shit. You see what I'm saying? That means we're gonna take that rig, this one, that one, this one, put it here. Nobody's ever done that. They probably did it on the computer. You see what I'm saying? Makes sense on the computer. But when it comes to a live show and need power and amps and all that ohms and shit, like they gotta make that shit with fucking solder and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like you so my point was, um, to achieve a high quality sound, you have to pay a high quality product like for it. Like, right? Like how you said, like, I don't do this, but I pay for this. Like, you know what I mean? You can learn how to do it. I know how to mix and master to a certain extent, but it'll never change the fact that that's one person's function, that's one person's job, and they got to be able to do that. If not, I could just put out music raw, and I just remember to go back about my vocals. So what I'm learning about my vocals is I sound like this when I rap. That's cool. But I have to add some more plugins on top of it to achieve the sound that I want, that'll be viable and great for everybody's ears and they want to hear. Like my deep voice is cool. My voice sounds fine, but it's not it's not ready for the quality I want, like radio, film, and all that other stuff. So that's something I'm learning now.
I used to put out a lot of fucking unmixed, unmastered shit all the fucking time. Like the shit that I found in the vault, like 95% of the shit that I found from back in the day was unmixed, unmastered. And then as I got older, like Soul was like always telling me like, look, dog, like you could do this shit, but it would be dope if you got your if you started mixing and mastering your shit.
Hmm.
And the first time I ever had my mixer mastered a song that was my shit was that ethnic study song. And for me, like I like the beat and I like the verse and shit, but it was always hard for me to when I first heard it, it was weird to me
Hmm.
because comparing, like what you said, comparing the fucking raw files that I was used to this shit, even like remove the fact that it was recorded on the studio, just like compare the mixing and mastering music or that song to everything else that I had done up to that point was way different,
Hmm.
and then with the also shit too, mixing and mastering all that shit. And it was I never I never wanted to like learn how to do it because I was like, I just want to drop music. I just want to fucking drop the music. Who gives a fuck? Right. But then, like as I got older and I started listening to soul more, it's like, nah, if we try to get that shit mixed and mastered, it'll change your shit. And even to this day, fool, like it's weird for me to hear the raw file and then the final product,
Hmm.
because to me, the raw sound, to me that's perfect. But I
Hmm.
also understand that there's a level of mixing and mastering that I have to be willing to accept in order to, you know. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not like trying to say that I don't want to mix and master my shit because at this point in my life, I'm not gonna drop the raw file of anything. I
Yeah.
like it more, but I'd rather drop the fucking mix and mastered version of everything that I do.
I feel the same way. So um something similar or different. We're doing time skips. 2020 when I did my first mixtape. Um, I did the Rona Project. It was supposed to be like an A side and a B side to it. The project was meant to drop on Apple Music, and I never did it, but I still got it ready to go. Uh, and then like the ideas I had, like throwaways, even though there wasn't throwaways, stuff that I knew it wouldn't, but would complete the story would just go on SoundCloud. And depending on how much I tried to touch it up or not, you know, it will have a better sound than it did when I just recorded it. But one thing I will say is, like, similar to what you were saying, I was listening to is like, I almost, I'm perfecting recording my raw vocals to the point that it's like, it's too raw. Like, I remember I had recorded something on this mic. This is the SM dB. I had to go back and get my last mic I had. And I had gave my old studio equipment to the homegirl the son. I was like, oh shit, I need this back right quick
Cause that's not a
because
music mic, right? That's a they made that
no,
specifically for
you could
podcasting and
do
streaming.
you could do it all on it.
All right.
People normally use it for podcasting and streaming. You could do it all on it. But when I was recording with the homie, when I was recording one of the tracks, it just came out so clean in studio. I was like, oh, I need to dirty up my vocals
Yeah.
because you can hear the difference between like how he recorded and how I recorded. And my vocals are still like I record raw. And when I'm putting plugins on, it's so funny. I'll put the shit on and I start taking too much shit away to make it go back like raw. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like hearing him auto tuned out, leveled all correctly, and then you just hear me come in like, well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, you don't want no reverb. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like, what are you doing? So you can just hear this separation through quality when it comes to recording too. And I think one of the things I was thinking that I thought was dope when you're talking about your experience with mixing and mastering or just quality music, creating quality music to your standard is that you had to been like PYFC actually had a studio. So blocking out sound, unnecessary sound is critical because then you can mute everything, go in there and tighten up where you need to tighten up and not have to like mute everything, go in there and you rapping and you hear a motherfucking
Yeah.
fan or somebody flushing a toilet. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just interesting. It's interesting when you do it. And that's what I liked about the eyeball. As soon as I got it, and the first time I used it in record, I said, "Oh,
That shit, that's a game changer, dog. It's a
that
fucking
shit
game
is
changer.
crazy."
That
I
shit's a
said,
game
"That
changer.
shit is
Yep.
crazy for sure." Yeah, I was like, "That shit is crazy." Like, $200 is not in the drain with that. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
The homie just left his here, and I just been using it ever since. I was like, "Hey, my boy, you're never gonna get this back.
Yeah,
You're never
they
gonna
got a
get this back."
version for this one now because it's like more of a, what would you say, like a horizontal. So
That's
they
that
got one
purple
that
one, right?
comes. I
Or the
think
red
so. You can
one?
change the colors now, and they
Oh,
got
for real?
like little silicone versions for the COVID type shit, for the
Oh,
germs, antibacterial type shit.
hey,
Yeah,
that
it's
shit.
crazy.
Well, hey,
It's
money well
crazy.
spent and shit.
Yeah,
So,
you could throw it in the washer, not the foam, but the
yeah,
foam, the mic part, the pit, or whatever you want to call it, the shield.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, cause I know for when last time I looked at the chaotic eyeball, dog, like they had the blue one, the red one, and the purple one. But it was for
Yeah.
different mics, you know, for different mics.
Oh no, you can change the colors now. You just tell
Yeah.
them the mic, they give you the foam. You just change the colors.
Yeah. And then
What
so
up, Vato? Mm-hmm.
going back to the fucking to OCD, dog. Like final point
Mm-hmm.
on the OCD before we move forward in the timeline. Was there ever any music that you released? Because you said a lot of that shit's unreleased. Like, is there anywhere
Well,
I can
it's
find
it's
it?
released on SoundCloud, YouTube, stuff like that. I'm talking about like we never did a OCD project, and then SB and Wins did an OCD tape together. We just never did one with all four of us that we've been promising the world since we started the group.
Shit. There it is. YouTube and SoundCloud. All right, dog. And this was like when SoundCloud was first starting up, right? The songs have been uploaded since like the beginning of time type shit.
Yeah. No, no, no. This is just like because SoundCloud was there as a resource.
Did you ever use Bandcamp?
No, but I used the other joint, Reverb Nation.
Yeah, I remember Reverb Nation. I was gonna use Reverb Nation, and then somebody told me about Bandcamp, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just start using Bandcamp."
Yeah, I've noticed. Like, I noticed still people still use Bandcamp and shit. Like, I just never. It just was never a tool on my tool belt I ever thought I needed.
I like Bandcamp, but I was always interested in making my own website. That's why I have my own website now. That's just I love building
Yeah,
shit. I love building websites for some weird reason, dog. I feel like to me
yeah,
that's a creative. I like the creative. I don't like the coding shit. I don't know how to do the coding. That's why I like the free templates and shit. And then I'll just go in there and change the colors, add the pictures, blah blah blah, all that good shit. But yeah,
same
Bandcamp,
difference.
Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, all that good shit, dog. Then DistroKid comes out a couple years, like not even a couple years, almost like probably about to hit like 10 years since DistroKid
Hmm.
came out. I don't know how the fuck. OCD moves on and you start doing your solo shit. Obviously, we didn't really talk when I was from 20, like end of 2013 to 2018. We didn't really chop it up like that. What were
Hmm.
you doing during that time?
Uh, just life. I think I was in and out of relationship. I think at that time I had yeah, I had left Venice Youth Build, went to Public Allies because I know we touched on that. I did a couple songs during that time. Um, that's how I came across Flora because I was still going back and forth to the PY. Um, Flora happens to be one of the most amazing vocalists I'm pretty sure I ever hear in my lifetime. Her not only is her soul beautiful, but her voice is beautiful, and she blessed me years later with being on my mixtape more than anyone I knew firsthand, and I will forever appreciate Flora for that, and I will forever have whatever she needs, I got her like off the rip because that was a time I keep skipping to 2020. Like let's say
We'll talk about it right now. Don't
2013
worry
and
about it.
everything else was a blur. Everything else was a
Yeah,
blur. Let's just
yeah.
it just is what it is.
Nah, we
Everything
got.
else
Hey,
was a
we're gonna have
blur.
a segment about the Rona Project. But don't trip, homie. Don't fucking trip, dog.
Everything else was a blur.
You got all this information, right? Did you apply it to your music?
Um, it's a difficult yes and no. Um, for a long time, whenever I wrote verses, I wouldn't cuss in them. I think it just naturally happened that way. I didn't. And
Like,
then I tiptoed around saying the word bitch. Then I tiptoe around saying the word pussy. Then I tiptoe, but I'm okay with saying nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think naturally, just because of who I am and because of that opportunity, I think I struggle with it. I still wrestle with it sometimes. I know I just edited it, a verse where I did write. I
uh,
glitch. I did edit a word where I did a verse where I did say that, but then I ended up using the B word later on, and because it made more sense there. But when I used it the time I wrote, it was just like you just kind of being a little extreme. That don't feel natural, and so I just went ahead and just removed it and replaced it, and I replaced the word with something else. I ain't gonna say what it is because then it's making a reference that's not needed. So that comes, but I think about that. I think it's very challenging to do so, coming where I'm from and how I want to articulate myself and communicate. But I think sooner or later, once I get all that out verbally or written, I would then be able to transition to embodying um that experience of being socially aware.
it's hard to be like on some critical shit, dog, and then writing the word bitch, saying the word pussy, dog. It's hard, bro. Or cursing
Hmm.
just in general. It's hard, dog. Cause I'm not like, I'm not gonna sit here fool and be like, I've never called, somebody the B word, right? But it's also like you know it's wrong, fool. You know it's wrong. It's like
Well,
it's an unexplainable feeling for when you use it in a verse when you know it's wrong.
yeah, but are you creating art? And I think that's the thing. It's I think
It's a filler word sometimes, dog. For me, like
yeah, true.
I've never really. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, dog. Sometimes there's certain words I don't want to use, and for a long time, dog, I didn't curse in my bars. For like I just never cursed. It was like something I just did. I just never cursed. I was like, fuck everything, dog. Like I'm never gonna curse, whatever. But yeah, there's certain words that just like feel weird. I mean, I've said the word like not in a disrespectful way, using the B word. It's more of like it's kind of hard to explain it if I go into it. It's more of like a message instead of saying like instead of calling somebody bitches is like, oh. it's like almost like a message to the youth or to other people. It's like, look, for you can stop looking for the bitches, quote unquote, and focus on yourself. That's probably like the way I use it more than
Yeah, no,
anything.
I got you.
Like I'm not gonna be like, hey, where the bitches at? Fuck a bitch, you know. Like I don't use it in that way. I would never use it that way, right? I
See,
just
the difference between you and I is I might want to use it that way. It just depends on it.
yeah,
It honestly depends on the story I want to tell in the moment and how authentic I want to be to myself and how I'm trying to articulate. That's really just what it is. Everything else to me, I think is kind of like you're right. Now but I rather tell I rather tell a a factual story and or a story as close as factual as possible. Some people are able to create fictional stories and make that, and that's fine. I just haven't found my authenticity in being able to do so yet. I'm not the ultimate storyteller, but once I'm able to get there, I'll sell you a dream.
I
But
think shit. I
I don't
don't
want to
know.
do that. I just can't sell you a dream.
It's just
Drake said it best. He loved calling bitches bitches because the bitches love it.
hey dog, you know. It's just to each his own on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of hard to talk about certain things because I don't want to feel people to be like, oh, this fool, you know, like you don't want us to use the word bitch. Or it's a creative thing that to each his own.
Look,
You know,
to each his own, but if you don't identify, you shouldn't get mad at it.
true.
How you gonna wear the shoe that don't fit? That don't make sense.
Yeah.
I can't wear it. It don't fit you. So yeah, it's one of those things where you just gotta figure out how to navigate it. That's all I'm saying. It's just like if it ain't meant for you, it ain't meant for you. But if you enjoy it while you hear when you hear it, I guess then you cool. Like you don't gotta like it, but you might mess with it a little bit. That's all. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Man, the bitch is gonna see this and be upset. No, I'm just playing. You should have seen your face.
Oh
What?
shit! Like what the fuck? Nah, it's cool. I get it, dog. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna edit that part out. Fuck that.
Is what it is.
It's a real combo, dog. It's a real platica, homie. You're getting it out there.
Yo, it is what it is. Like,
Okay, you said it
but
was a blur, fool. You said it's a blur. Now it's time to talk about what the fuck you want to talk about, dog. The Rona Project. Let's get into it, fool. I have it right here on SoundCloud.
I actually
All right.
didn't want to talk about it. I just
Nah,
don't
fool, we're gonna
remember
talk
it.
about it,
Just
fool.
don't. I just honestly don't remember it. Music wise, nothing happened before that. That's why.
Nah, that's cool, fool. I get it.
Nothing happened before that.
So there's 12 tracks, right?
Hmm.
Let's talk about from beginning to end. Where the idea for where did that come from?
The Rona Project was about me on a self healing journey.
And why the
Brevity
name?
is a leadership trait. You saw how quick I did that? You
Yeah,
thought
that's
you was gonna
cool.
get something long winded. You thought you was gonna get something
Nah, I
long
give
winded.
you a time, because that's just the way communication works, though. You got to give people time. And maybe you were trying to gather your thoughts. I'm one of those fools that like I take a long pause sometimes. 'Cause sometimes my brain works too fast and I don't know how I can't put it into words sometimes. But yeah,
No, that was
that was cool. That's cool,
it.
dog.
Yeah,
The name, fool. Corona, guessing.
coronavirus. Yeah, so COVID just started in 2020. Well, it was already happening, but it was announced in March 2020 where everybody had to get to stay at home order. Um,
Right? What about the cover? Where did that come from?
the cover came about because during the pandemic, I drove up to Malibu in the car with the homegirl and standing outside the car looking, and she took the cover. I
And then what
used
about
it.
the music, fool? Where did that how did it all start? Was there a specific one that you started? Was it like songs that you already had that you're like, oh, that'd be dope to add to the
It's-
project?
So I think the craziest thing about that project is like I think the order that they're listed is the order that I recorded in because I told myself every song that I wrote or you every beat I used every beat I wrote to I wanted to use And so the mono again, so back to how I referenced Flora, she came over, we spent some time and we just recorded and recorded and recorded. Majority of those beats, I believe, So Real made for her, and she didn't want to use. She just checked her email, and she was like, "Yo, I got this one." She recorded a hook, and I just wrote to it, and the rest was history. That's why I said I'll forever uh, have support for her, um, because that was a time where I was just exploring my own silo, exploring my own creativity, committing to making a record. Um, Started my own record label called 25A LLC, uh, learning how to do the business side while also trying to be the artist and trying to put my homies on to the understanding of the business side. Like if it wasn't for her being able to create those hooks and not even saying my verses were trash, just keep it pushing, like I don't think I would be here today as a solo artist.
And then the writing process, right? Talk about your breakup. Like, I'm never, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I could relate, right? But was it difficult to write, or was it like, was it just like in the moment, like I'm gonna just let it out right now?
Um, it's not necessarily about a breakup, but it's about my life experiences. So I just want to correct that. No, it wasn't difficult to write about it because at the time during my self healing journey, I was exercising, I was working out, I was trying to figure out how to be mental. I was doing processes that would help me be mentally stable, physically stable, um, spiritually stable, health wise as well. So everything. So a part of that was journaling and stuff like that. So I would take time to actually journal, and so when it came to writing, it just was another form of me just getting that expression out at the time, but in a musical format. And so that's what I liked about the project most, is that there's real authentic stories in regards to it. Everything I'm saying, if you listen to it, it's like a diary. And so I remember I had a conversation with someone about this project, and it was like, "Well, you rap." And I was like, "Well, I want people to hear it, but I want people to go into it talking about, well, this song sucks." It's like that's fine, but it was never meant for that when I created it. It's not to get you out your seat. It's not to get you to dance. It's not for you to just really critique it. But they was like, "Well, you rap and you putting it out, and people don't critique it." And I still wrestle with that because again, um, I'm not making it for that. I think I was just giving people insight. Like I was just telling a story. But what made me slow myself down and realize that individual who I can't remember was correct is because I'm critical of what I create. And this was part of my artist development and trying to become better was this project. It was just that. Like I mixed and mastered that project. We were talking about that earlier. I had to write these verses. I had to like to get a cover art, track art. I did a whole listening party on June 20th, 2020, on
Was there?
Zoom. Yeah, so it's just like I was really dropping singles. You know what I mean? You was there when I did Two Braids, right? When we did Two Braids, or you came a little
No,
later.
I was there when you recorded the verse for where I'm from,
Okay.
and when
No,
you
no, no,
record,
no. We did Two Braids at Soul's house.
I wasn't there when you recorded that,
Okay. Okay.
but I was there when you recorded your verse for where I'm from, and then
Hmm.
when you recorded the whole song, I'm bleeding,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
fool,
Yeah.
you said, look, you said you're not a master storyteller, fool, but you listened to that whole tape and it's a story, dog. Like, don't sell yourself short, my
Appreciate it.
boy. It's a whole fucking,
Appreciate
it's
it.
a story, dog. You could hear the heartbreak, you could hear the frustration of everything that's going on in the world, but you could feel like now, after I went through my journey, I understand more of this project than when I first heard it.
Nice.
And
Appreciate
and
that
it's
respect.
I understand like the whole critical shit, fool, but I could see from your perspective now that you weren't going for the whole like it's not just a rap project, fool, it's a diary. I get it, fool.
Yeah.
Like I understand it, That's why looking back at it and I was like, damn, if I remember when he dropped. I remember when you recorded on Bleeding. I was in the studio, dog, in the same fucking studio booth. And at that time, like, yeah, we were, we were on some, I was on some different shit. For I didn't really understand it. I just thought he was like, he's just telling a regular ass story about growing up in LA, you know? And then when you drop the actual project, when you're doing the listening party, I was like, this fool is just to me, it was just a regular tape, right? But now, looking back at it now and looking at the track list and remembering everything from that whole process, well, I wasn't there for the whole thing, obviously, but listening to it, like hearing it from different parts, and like when Two Braids dropped, like now, like reflecting now on on my part of like my life, I get like, yeah, this is dope. This is fucking
Yeah,
dope.
appreciate it. Yeah,
That shit's dope. I know we
it's
like to fuck around, dog, and talk about like the 7 in the morning drinking session and like all the bullshit that happens, fool. Like, but nah, it was dope, fool. Like, I really fuck with it, dog. Like,
appreciate it. It's some it's some real stuff that came out of that tape. They dropped December 31st, 2020. And so the goal was to just even try to keep creating to the end of that year. Um, but things happened and a lot of that came to a halt. But I think what I appreciated most is like even hearing what you just said, right? Um, it's funny because I think someone had told me the homies was going back and forth talking shit about the tape. They was going like track for track, talking about, look, he don't even rhyme. Like, I was like, that's crazy. Like, why would you even do that? But to each his own. Um, then I never forget I had another homie who was cool. I remember I told him I was dropping a tape. He had the nerve to tell me like I should listen to Big Sean tape because he's talking about his experience in life and becoming a man and blah 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 blah. I just created a tape like that, like way before you even like
yeah,
that's crazy. Didn't even say he was gonna check my tape out. So it's crazy when you listen to like Kendrick's latest album, you know, Big Sean's album at that time, or whoever the hell else. I think maybe it was Kendrick. I don't remember. Uh, it's like I think it was Big Sean. It's like you just watch these artists do like 5 different albums and then tour the world, glitz and glamour, and now you want to hear them talk about their secrets
yeah,
or which I'm not knocking. Like it's a time and place for everything, but your own homie is a more self aware than you are when it comes to you, and one thing I pride myself on, which I also am so critical on myself on, is like the music I make isn't like everybody else's, and I hate that. I hate it so much sometimes because the versatility can show when it can, but in most cases, I'm just creating what I can. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to create what O3 is creating. I'm not trying to create what, So Real is creating. I'm just trying to create what I can in the moment for what I have available to me in terms of resources. And so it sounds like I don't want to be like it sounds like a Steezy song, but it does. It sounds like something I can only create. And the last thing I'll say about that is like that experience I'm sharing with you, it showed for me when you were doing your YouTube streams. And I was like, damn, my music was going against these other songs, but it wasn't going against because it wasn't a competition, but it was going
Oh, yo,
alongside of
I
these songs.
remember this shit, dog. You were
And I
like,
remember,
and I remember you texted me during one time. It was like, damn, my shit sounds so different. I was like, fuck it, man. Who
yeah,
gives a fuck, homie?
yeah, like that shit was crazy but it stood its own too. When I
Yeah.
looked at it and listened to it, I was like, yo, it stood on its own. It stood on business. It was standing on
Hey,
business,
some of
but
my homies fucked with it, dog. They fucked with it.
yeah,
You know, I'm not
it was
knocking
just
the other fools and
interesting.
shit, but
No, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like I love what the fuck they. I'm
yeah,
listening to it and all like, damn, I wish I could have did that. Like
yeah.
100%. I'm like, damn, why my lyricism don't show like that? You know what I mean? Like that's what like people just be throwing words together and making shit happen, and I be cutting dry. Like you get it right then and there, and that's it. And I just like, damn, if I could just switch this up a little bit. I mean, it'll happen. It happens when it happens on songs, but I'm like. like I stick out like a sore thumb. Like you're like, damn. And then it's like, okay, like let's go back to everything else. But it's not like you did that. It's just how my sound is. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like everybody sounds like this, then here he comes, then it's like a weird like sandwich, if you will, like a weird Oreo. It's like boop,
I remember
him, boop.
when I would try to put together that list, it was always hard because I would try to put like all the boom bap in the boom bap section. I would try to put
Mm-hmm.
like all the fucking I don't even know how to describe it, but like new West Coast kind of drillish, kind of
Mm-hmm.
uh just hard fucking West Coast underground shit. Like not even G Funk shit, you know, like just, I don't even know how to explain that kind of music, dog. Just street fucking rap. And then there'd be your music, fool. And I'd be like, where the fuck did we put this fool song, you know?
Fuck.
So sometimes I would just throw it there
Damn.
I would sometimes just throw it in the middle, random. So I would kind of experiment. That's funny you brought that up because I do remember that shit like that. It was like a fucking big dilemma or anything. It was just like
Just
it's the boom
interesting.
bap. It was a boom bap shit. And then when I'll play my G Funk shit, my shit was, you know, nobody really had G Funk shit like that submitted. So it'd be your music and then the Oso's music, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll throw on my boom bap shit and that would go on the boom bap section. But like the Bang My Line and the fucking all that other Oso shit, the G Funk, real hard G Funk would go in its own section or it'd be its own individual song and all that. So I wish I obviously like I had a plan for all that shit. I just was so burnt out at that point. I was just fucking running on fumes when it came to everything. So that's why it ended. But I do remember having that. I remember there was a text message that you sent me, dog. Like, hey, fool, I don't even know if I want to play my shit, dog. Like my shit sounds so different, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
fuck it. And I was like, fool, fuck it. Who gives a fuck, dog? Your shit banging. And then two braids, two braids. I remember when you dropped that song, fool. Like I will never forget that shit. I was like, Steezy dropped this shit, and he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And this one, fucking Nihai would still go by Nihai.
Mm-hmm.
Before he changed his name. I mean, that's actually his name, right? Like his name is Nihai.
I don't
And
even know no more.
so when that song dropped, too break, I was just sing that shit all week, fool.
Yo, appreciate it. That's
Too
one of my
break.
favorite songs.
That's what I'm saying. Like I still remember
That
the
song was the epitome going like I could make a song, like I could make a record, like an
yeah, yeah,
actual record, like you
yeah.
know what I mean. And I think that's what people need to understand too. There's making songs, there's putting out music, and then there's like making records. And this is what people dislike about one of the goats, the greatest of our time, right? Drake. That man makes records, and he just makes so many records that people get upset because they're like, "Ain't no way in hell you can make that many records." You find out your formula, regardless if you have a team large enough to support you or not, you're gonna keep making records. And so when I made Two Braids, I knew how to make an actual song that was a record at that point. But I didn't I did a lot of ideation and some writing on there, but So Real and Knee High played a critical part in that because we all made that song. And without them, we wouldn't have been able to create it, or I wouldn't have been able to create it. So that's always gonna be one of my favorite.
And you know,
Like,
the reason I think I also remember this. I remember it was the first song that I had heard you dropped in a long time.
mhm.
So you dropped that
which is
shit.
which again,
And
which again, which again, like I'm with the homies and everything, and then you got this man coming out with a song called Two Braids, while this one talking about he on some West Coast this, shooting up that, and fuck your bitch that. Like, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like it's just interesting, bro. It's interesting. Like it's interesting.
And then I think you followed it up with Appetite, right? Was that the second one you dropped? Because I'm going based
Uh,
off of the shit that you dropped on Spotify.
no, that's fine. Yeah,
With the one with
it could have
Darren.
been Appetite. Yeah, could have been Appetite. Yeah. I was in the studio with that one, and I remember he played it, and I said, "Yo, let me get that." And he said, "You know what?" He deleted his verse. He said, "All right." He sent it to me, and I sat on that for years.
Oh, for real?
I realized that I sat on that for years, and I used that on the mixtape.
And
I
then
said he didn't want it.
Appetite
Mhm.
drops, and then I think that studio session that we did
Yeah,
took place
uh,
3 fucking morning, fool.
yeah,
And I think that was the turning point, fool. Like that's when like shit got really real for when I started like I think that's where like we became real homies because we were chopping it up all fucking drunk at 8 in the morning off of like 10 Modelos each, coming off of
No,
a
it's
fucking
probably
all
more than
nighter,
that.
dog.
I was smoking Black and Miles heavy through the
That
studio.
shit
Remember?
was funny as
Said we
fuck.
could smoke in here. He said, yeah. And then I pulled out a black. He's like, well, I said, yo, bro, you said we could smoke. You thought we was gonna smoke weed? What else smoke weed?
And I remember you were telling me about this project during this whole like it was like a it was like a 24-hour session, fool. So I was there when you recorded your verse where I'm from, and I'm bleeding. And when they dropped, I was like, oh shit, I get it. Like I understand like what he's trying to do now. I didn't understand the concept of the project, but you were like, I'm dropping these singles, boom, 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 and they were all different,
Hmm.
right? And then where I'm from and fucking when that shit dropped, I was like, oh shit. Then fucking you and your homies, dog, they fucking get down, dog. It's Wentz and what's his name? Poop. They get
Hmm.
down. I was like, oh, it's for showing that I'm bleeding. I was like, yeah, that's a story right there. Shout out
Yeah,
to
man.
Domino.
Yep.
I remember that
I did I'm bleeding because I'll never forget. I kept writing all those like um emotionally aware songs. And
soundtrack.
so I was like, I need to come up with something else. I played
Yeah.
that beat, and I kept like harmonizing or something. It was something I didn't like about the time at the time, and I think that's just what it was. And I was like, you know what? I need to try to spit bar for bar. I need to try to rap. And so I was like, I grew up on Second Ave and Adams. Shout out to Biddy, Domino, my big bro. So shout out to City. I used to walk around like bullets couldn't hit me till I'm 28 and Norton when I got caught slipping, because that's when I got like so. Um, Second Avenue Adams is a blood hood, and so Biddy,
I get it.
Domino, City, you know what I mean? And then just say it like that, you know what I mean? And then um I got shot and on 28 Norton in front of my own crib. So that's yeah. So that was like some real shit. All of that whole song was a real song. But that was one of my favorite I'm gonna stop saying that was my favorite one of my favorite damn I just did it. That was one of my favorite
It's hard,
records
dog. It's hard.
because Sticks and So Real made that beat, and that's what I chose to do with it. See, no more
It'll happen though. But
confidence.
honestly, like I've been trying to stop saying my whole life, but it happens. I get it.
It's done. I'm not doing it no more.
Me either. But out of that whole tape, two braids and I'm bleeding are probably my favorite ones.
Hmm.
And where I'm from is cool too. I'm about to re-listen to it again.
Where I'm from is unique because I wrote that song, my verse, and Pook was like, I was starting to work with him as an artist, and he was on the cell phone with me, and I played my verse. He said, play it again, and send me the beat. I played on my verse till I'm bleeding, both verses.
Yeah.
He came to my house in Long Beach, my apartment in Long Beach, and laid his verse in the hook. I recorded him.
I like the little swing.
I mixed and mastered that. And then but then I utilized it in the studio for my verse because remember I did kill off studio time. Excuse me. Ooh, I know that picked up. My bad, y'all. Um,
Yeah.
so the crazy thing about that song I like is that it was just gonna be a me and Poop song. But I just deep down inside, when you know people. I knew Wins was gonna be sick. You just know people. See, people might be like, I know Steezy, he gonna get upset. And I'm not over anything. Like anything. There's some things I will, but I'm not gonna mention it. So nobody will ever know. I'm just not gonna care. It is what it is. That's my thing now. I. It is what it is. That's what I be putting. Don't tell nobody. but it's like Iwi.
I'm on that
Iwi.
Iwi shit. I'm on that Iwi shit, dog. It
Oh,
is what it is.
look, somebody just took it. Somebody just took it. Like, that quick. I need to shut up. I
Yeah.
need to shut up. But look,
About to
so
pop out
I
a
just
shirt that said Iwi.
I wait.
I way. Hey, that's the next. Hey,
So
we're gonna drop a song called "It Is What It Is," dog. There it is,
I
homie. Load
I'm
up the
with it.
band lab. Load up the band lab. We got a surreal beat. Boom. Let's get it. All right, but yeah, see when I mean he needed to be on that song, dog. I think
Yeah, I
three of
just
y'all is dope.
and in terms of just for the culture, Pook is a big bro. Pook from the hood too. We grew up with Pook. Pook was in jail, got out. She was rapping, going in and out of jail. Like I'm popping up at the crib. What's good, Pook? Like, you know what I mean? So over the years, and it's during the pandemic, I had him. He recorded. I took my whole iMac to Wynn's house and recorded them. I said, I got this song, bro, and I was gonna tell you about it, but I know if I would have put that song out for what it is without him, oh, that would have been hell to pay. We probably wouldn't even be family no more. On me. So
Yeah.
unlike, I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Be real, it wouldn't happen. But I also wouldn't have cared because it wouldn't have been in my. I would have been happy for her, like it is what it is. But I think at the end of the day, I like the fact that I chose the route I chose, not only because I felt like he would hate me for the rest of my life, but I knew for the culture, for what we stood for him being my brother, for them being my brothers, for us being brothers. It just had to happen. And who better to cultivate some shit like that? You got Steez, Wins, Poop on a Soul Real beat. What are you talking about? Nobody else put them on a Soul Real beat like that. I did.
Yeah.
My
Uh,
record.
yeah.
One thing I like about that song too is that I remember when we recorded it, Wins was like, Wins is one of my favorite rappers. Okay. And he knows that. He's one of my favorite rappers off the rip. I'm my favorite because I be coming up with some shit sometimes. I might not be the best, but I'll be like, oh yeah, I could come up with some shit like that. But Wins is my favorite rapper. And I'll never forget after he did his verse, he was like, man, you and him killed that shit. And so that was one of them times where I felt like he had to keep up, but not just keep up. He had to match the energy because that record was already solidified. But what he did on it was great too. I really like what he did on it. I feel like it was
Hey, the
my
three of y'all
song.
went off, though. The three of
It,
y'all went
it, it was my song, but then I feel like I could have redid a couple pieces in there to make it stronger at that point. But that's what happened. You see what I'm saying? Like, um, I already had my verse. You see what I'm saying? Who heard another verse from another song, did what he did. You see what I'm saying? And then Wins had to hear what we did to do what he did. So, and it was 3 different sessions. You see what I'm saying? I had my own, and then I had my own with Pook, and then I had to go record Wins. So it was never nothing organically that happened
off.
that could have made it better than what it was. So, but it's still a fire record. I really like it. I love that beat too.
That beat is hard, dog. That shit is hard
Yeah.
as fuck, dog. Is there any song here that you featured anybody that you did it in the same time at the same day? Like did both of y'all or the three of y'all were at the same booth? Like it was you, Soul, and Flora, right? Was there did
That
that
would
ever
be it would be
or like
two
two braids?
braids, two braids
Wait,
for
so it was
sure.
you, Soul, and Nihai at the same time? Like right there
Hmm.
and then?
Yeah. So the story, I think I did not tell the story on the last episode.
Nah, but you talked about it a little bit earlier today, earlier in the Platica.
So this is how two braids was cultivated. The song's called Two Braids, and in parentheses it says Courtney's song. So I was on the phone with the homegirl at the time, Courtney. I was spending the night at Soul's house because I wanted to record. And I remember it was late night and we were talking about Kylie Jenner braids, I guess the two braids that people call them. And so she was joking with me. She's like, "You like those young girls with those two braids?" And I said, "Shut up, Courtney, before I make this song called Two Braids. and then I'm gonna do like Drake do and put like Courtney's song on it. Like, you know what I mean? And then she's like, "You ain't gonna do that." I was like, "Nah, I am." So oddly enough, we was talking about like the little starter kid they be wearing leggings and like it was just making a joke. Oddly enough, I woke up early that morning. I said, "So let's do a song." He said, "What?" I said, "I don't know. We're gonna call it Two Braids." He said, "All right, bro." He was working on that beat, and then it's like two braids, and then we just trying to figure it out. And then I'll never forget. I was like, "Damn, we need somebody to sing on it." Knee High wasn't even in the area. I think he was in the area, but he wasn't around. And then Knee High came like
Mm-hmm.
around 12 or something
Yeah.
like that. Or no, we did it early in the morning. Whenever time he came, bro. We wrote that shit, banged that shit out, the hook, banged that shit out. I did my two verses, two eights, done. And then I went back and moved the tracks around, and then he did his bridges and all that other stuff. But at the end of that song, I was like, "Yo, we got one." I think that was like the quickest at the time I ever recorded. I think we did that in like an hour or two. It's unheard of for me. Normally, I want to do 35 million takes. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
And then besides the actual music on Instagram, you were doing these like conversations,
Hmm.
right? It was like a weekly. Let's talk a
It
little
was
bit about
monthly.
that. It was
It
monthly.
was monthly. So shout out to Camille. She was one of the first ones that believed in like the opportunity for me to create and I'm doing it again, an album or a mixtape. She created a tech company called Charger Help. They're leading in what they do. I'm gonna expand on that because I don't want to misrepresent um what it is she does and what the in the tech company she started. Um, but she I forgot the question.
No, like the conversations on Instagram.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She led as a host. At the time we were thinking about how to bring tech music together. And so as I was building up to release my project, which is the Rona Project in December 31st, 2020, we decided to do like these monthly updates and monthly conversations where I drop a track a month. We talk about it, but we also talk about the process of starting a record label and being an artist from where we left off each month. From that last record to the process I went through to the next record and then keep on going. So that's what we did. And that was dope. Didn't last too long for its own reasons, but we also had an opportunity where um you have to remind me of this one because it was a blur for me that night where where she actually set up where we ate barbecue and had a discussion. She cultivated that. That was her idea.
Yeah.
When we was at your crib, my back was fucked. That was the day my back was messed up.
That day was all fucked up, fool. I was just starting how to use my camera, so like shit fucked up. Your back was fucked up,
Yeah,
you
that was
know.
crazy.
But it was a
But
dope conversation. I'll never forget. I wish I would have been able to pick it up on camera, but it was
but
dope
we,
because it was the four of us. It was
yeah.
she was in there because she just dropped it off, right? She had somewhere to
Hmm.
go. So it was you,
Hmm.
myself. She went and pooped, and we
Yeah.
just had to chop it up about just music and life.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
dope.
It was dope. It
But
was dope.
the idea, I remember she came up to me. She's like, "I want to do something like where like he's like we combine what I was doing at the time with Kick It Fu,
Hmm.
right? The food reviews and all. I was doing all kinds of other shit. This before like I even started doing vlogs. So I was like the first my first like try at vlogging. And then she had a conversation was like that I think it started when we were doing the fucking um we were playing Loteria. Remember that shit?
Hmm.
We were playing
Yeah.
Loteria in my backyard. Obviously a Kick It
Yeah.
Fu episode. The conversation started from there. It's like let's combine the interviews with your shit, and then that thing happened, and it was a dope experience. I got to meet C Wens and Pook that day.
Hmm.
It was dope, dog. There was like it was an introduction into. I mean, I was kind of alone, right? Then homies from the block pulled up, and
Yeah.
then yeah, so it was like a
Nice little mixture.
it was like yeah, it was cool, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember those Instagram shits. I remember I would tune in because at the time when you were doing that, So and I were working on the second Oso's tape, Sick Ass
Nice.
Fools. So sometimes I would tune into your shit while I was in the booth with Soul working on Kick It.
Hmm.
I mean, on Sick Ass Fools. And then the release party, dog, on Zoom.
Yeah.
I was at Soul's house that day too. I remember we tuned in
Nice.
together. He was making a beat, and I fucking joined in, and it was just a fucking gang of people just chopping it up in the fucking in the Zoom call. I
Yeah.
think you're playing some music. I think it was
Yeah. I was playing all the music I had.
forgot what song I tuned into. I think it was
I messed up because I could have recorded it, and that's one of my biggest regrets. I cannot remember why. I was just between blacking mouths and smoking. I
oh,
mean,
you didn't
drinking.
record it?
I couldn't. Yeah, that was one of the biggest things that happened in my life ever. But not just because it was on Zoom, but I heard there was so many people there, and I was just
Yeah,
still stuck on the one panel view because I was too faded to know to switch and see who
yeah.
else was there. You know,
Now there was
so
heads there, fool. I was like, oh shit, like this is dope, you know? This
yeah,
is dope. And I think you were playing Appetite for when I loaded when I came in there. I think I don't really remember. That was at the time. I think I was drinking too. For me, fucking lie to you, dog. Like
yeah.
so.
It's a good time. With all the music that I created this time around with the homie Lil Colt, um, my goal has been to do that again because I know we've been releasing some music, but we still got a lot of music and we still got a lot more music that we're creating. And I think it'll be a fun time just to get people back on Zoom or some platform to just play music and just chop it up and just to hear what I'm on now. Like but again, slow myself down. But for that experience in the Rona Project, um, it was needed. So you know, I set out to do a June 2020 listening party virtually, and I did. It happened. After that, um, the more music was supposed to come, and I did do a couple more records, but I should have did more to do another one, and then drop the mixtape when I dropped it. So the goal of the Rona Project was to continue my personal development and showcase it. So it was supposed to be a three series, and I could still do it because I remember everything I went through. Just have to record the song. So actually, I think I do have a track list of titles for records that I could probably just go back, find records, and redo it, and actually put two and three out. But that was the goal. The goal was literally to self heal and keep working and get healthier and just be stronger and better in who I am, and then also be able to um, display the growth and development throughout the years and as an artist. And so even during 2021, 2022, a little bit more rough for me in terms of emotions. And so I was able to off and on create, but like continue to think. But now more than ever in 2024, this is where I'm at. And since the pandemic is technically declared over, I could still drop two and three, but it should have been more consistent and consecutive than me dropping them both in 2024 or dropping them finally in 2025. But I will say one of the things that I was so excited about at the time is that when uh, I met the homie Bird, who started producing some records for me, or we supposed to do a collab before I went to Atlanta to visit my brother in 2022. Uh, he I was like, damn, my sound has completely changed from the Rona Project from part one. Like, like you really will hear a difference in part two. I just never got really around to like really creating to those records, but I still have them, and I will. But like even now, what I'm doing with Justin Hale, that's his name. Excuse me, I called him Little Code. Justin Hale. Uh, that shit is bananas. Like Bye for Now is bananas. So it's like, but I hear how the Rona Project sounds, and when I listen to what I'm doing with Justin Hale, it's more perfected. It's the same. It's not the same Steezy. It's a better Steezy, but it's just interesting, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's just the growth and development is real as long as you stay on track and you make it happen.
12 tracks, dog. Final point about the Rona Project. 12 tracks. Say you never dropped it on all platforms. You have a couple of songs on the platforms.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, hopefully you do drop everything, but we're 4 years removed from everything. Do
Hmm.
you still go back and listen to it on the regular and just like not on some like critique shit, but more on some like I don't know. I'm into one of those fools that just like I like to go listen to the music just to feel how I was feeling during that time. You know, just to
I,
I don't know.
I
You
love
do
my
that?
music.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, I think I am doing myself, not doing myself service, because I'll play my music more than I play anything, but I'll play it because of the critique
Mm.
in the moment. But I enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, I really like my music. Uh, I love that project. That project's by it's 12. It's like 30 minutes. Once it starts, it's done. There's
Yeah.
nothing holding you down to that mixtape, bro. And it's smooth from A to Z. It'll take you on a little journey and then it's done. Like that's what I like about it. Um, my favorite has to be Real Talk. I always gonna say that. Just let's have a conversation. Like, why was I trying to sing? Like, it's just that beat is crazy. Her vocals is crazy. Like that was the intro. I laugh at that because we were talking about music. Like that was my intro to the world. Like this is me as a solo artist. Like why did it have to be that song, bro? Well, it really is two braids when you think about it. But in terms of a mixtape, like why did it have to be that song? But it was, bro.
Look,
I
bro,
will
we
say,
hey me and Steve, we clown around the dumbest shit. All right, let's just
yeah,
we're
no,
like
but I
that.
love the song.
Yeah, this is cool. Yeah.
But I will say, like, no, there's no good. I love what I put out. I'm just more confident now than ever. And I'm still wavering with my confidence. It's still kind of like, but I am getting there because I'm learning to do the best at what I can do in terms of what I create and be confident in what I do in the moment. So um I'm gonna always go back and listen to my records. I'll go back and listen to the ones we did with OCD. I'll go back and play that 95 Nightmares. We just played that the other day on the last Platicas. Like
Yeah.
I really go back and find that song and play it. Like you know what I'm saying? And that's old. And so, and then I got our other songs or my other songs in my email as well. Um, so it's like I listen to my music. I listen to my growth and development. I listen to what I said. I listen to what I could have said better or how I could have said something better. I listen to everything, man. I just listen to it. I listen to how it lines up with the beat. Do I sound a little too loud? Do I do or if I could go to sleep with it on, repeat, that's a hit. It's good. And so the Rona Project is one of those ones. If I'm tired and I need to listen to something, I go to sleep. It's just so smooth. I could put that on. And I love it for that.
Well, we come to the end of the plática, my boy. We'll
Hmm.
for next plática. I love talking about music. I just don't want like to bring you on the plática and just talk about music. 'Cause there's obviously like this other side of Steezy that we have conversations about like real life shit outside of music. Music stuff is always gonna be there. We're gonna make some fucking music, dog. It's in the cards, dog. It's in the cards.
You
I just
we
I just made I just made my BandLab account, dog, and I'm learning how to use it, and it's gonna happen, dog. It's slowly everything's moving, dog. There's motion now. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to talk
Yeah.
about the Rona Project because I was there when it happened, and I know it's a big part of your life. I understand it now from a different perspective. Yeah, we used to clown around about, we clown around about our moments and how we're feeling at certain times and shit, and we just, I don't know, we just we're the same way. We just clown about shit that happens in that moment, but to look back at it and reflect, It's beautiful, dog, and it was a journey. For I remember tuning into all the fucking the lives and the release party, and it was cool, dog. Cause like I said, when you dropped two braids, it had been a minute since I heard your music, and obviously that project kind of connected us once again. You know, after I came back from college, and it's funny studio sessions, memories were made. And I don't think these conversations would have not happened had we not connected during the Rona
It's a
Project.
fact. It's a
Like,
fact because we
it's a
always
fact.
ran into each other, and I think musically, we're getting there, and I think our network will be are going to be blown away when we get what we got going. And I'll start this off in this at the end of this Platica by saying, uh, Justin Hale and I have a song called Tiempo es Oro. And when it came to me writing in Spanish and trying to figure shit out, I called up O3
Eh,
and texted O3, and O3 came through, and we did the verse. Um, that song Tiempo es Oro has to be one of my favorite songs that I've created. It could be better, and there's more songs in Spanish that are to come. I will say that that's something Justin Hale and I are just trying to figure out, just in general. But that is um, what we did there. People will never be able, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, homies would have never known exactly. Homies would have never known like what to do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, go play that shit on your life.
Tú eres mi vida. Remember that shit? Tú eres mi vida. Te quiero amar.
Oh,
When I heard that
man.
shit, because I didn't, like I said, I'm off everything, dog. I didn't even know you dropped this shit. And like 2 weeks ago, fool. I was
I dropped it on
ready.
my birthday.
I was ready to go. I was ready to knock out. And I was like, fucking, let me see what Steezy up to, dog, on music. And it said Tiempo es Oro with JustinHale, fool. And I thought you were still gonna call it Time After Time or something like that.
Hmm.
And so I was like, all right, fool. And then when I heard it, and I was like, nah, this fool dropped it already. And then I heard, Tú eres mi vida, te quiero amar. I was like, oh, that's right, my boy. So I was
Yeah,
dope, dog. It was a
we're
moment.
gonna do studio versions and mix and master versions of that later in life. Like all the records that we're putting out. We were trying to do one once a week and we can, but I haven't really been like recording certain songs that I need to record. So we can start creating even more. And so we got a slight standstill there just because I haven't recorded, which means I'm gonna record today because I gotta knock some songs out. But yeah, like
That day was
when that
dope, though.
yeah. When I still got the whiteboard. I need to rewrite everything. Oh, it's all faded, but I still got the whiteboard.
Bro, that's the last time I drank.
Yeah.
I haven't drank since then.
I wish I could say the same. I think a week or two ago was the last time I drank.
That was November. I don't remember. It was like mid-November. That was before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving week. It was like mid-November. Last time I drank, I remember writing that whiteboard. So inspired. Wrote the fucking. I didn't even know for like what the fuck. I was just honestly, my plan was just to go write the verse and go home. Fool. I wasn't trying to do anything, but I was like in my head, I was like, "Fuck, dog, this might be."
Bro, it's still it's still here. Like I'm just less vocal now and I try to do more of the like don't say nothing, do the I try to showcase more of the gaming side to give me more free space and vulnerability, opportunity to be vulnerable when I create music. So I rather I'm trying to figure out how to showcase it, but I rather you just hear it when you hear it at that point and just like, oh, I game, I do social justice work, and I make music. You know what I mean? I'm music is low key the forefront, but it just virtually plays the background. You know what I mean? It's hard for me because like if I'm trying to record here, there's a certain way I have to plug in Pro Tools and all that, so there's no delay when I'm recording live. Versus you just hearing the music when it comes out, it's just so much easier. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't
I
gotta
get
do
it.
all that extra.
Well, we kind of the end of the plot thing, my boy. I feel like we could do another 10 hours for we really wanted to, but
Always.
I'll
Always.
bring you back. Shit, fucking might even be next week. I don't know, dog. Like, it's
It's
cool.
on look, it's on you. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm available. I'm here. I am at your service to support the Platicas. You don't even have to. I mean, we have our own Platicas. You know what I mean? So I respect that. So we can always throw numbers on them, and you can always release them when you release them. You never got to. And then I'll change jackets because I feel like this was the same jacket.
Nah, you were wearing a black hoodie last time, I think.
Oh, I was okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I was like, damn, I think I
Fool,
went
I
the
wear the
same
same hoodies all the time. I don't give a fuck, my boy.
man.
Black. I mean, that's because I wear black everywhere. So
Yeah, I do too. So
yeah.
I'm just glad I actually didn't wear that black hoodie. But yeah,
But come to the
uh,
end. Anything you want to say? Final words?
yeah. Make sure you check out all my new music on Apple Music or your favorite platform you can utilize. DSteezy, that's D space STEEZY, and JustinHale, that's JustinHale. We have Bye for Now, Tiempo es Oro. We got Seductive. We have
Tú eres mi vida, te quiero
uh
amar.
what's the Feliz? We have that one. So we have
Seductive,
about a good
distant,
4 songs. Oh, and five. We got Distant out. Damn, we got that many. We got Bye for
seductive,
Now.
distant,
Tiempo es
seductive, tiempo es
Oro.
oro, feliz, and bye for now.
That's five, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we got 5 records out. Make sure y'all go check them out. They're very nice. Um,
You have them on your YouTube channel? Like, you have it plugged in, right, where you can
no,
show
they
your
have it.
releases?
They have, yeah, yeah. They should be under my name, but certain ones don't show because I guess the type of sound he used for some reason has a copyright. Well, Seductive for sure, and I beat, but like um, Bye for Now for some reason doesn't really. I don't know, but
All right,
it
so
is
I'm
what it
on your
is.
YouTube. The only ones I could see is Tiempo Solo, Feliz, and Bye for Now.
That's what I'm saying. So the other ones you just gotta go to whatever other platform to see. They there or go to YouTube Music. They're there, but it's just because it was like a copyright on one of the beats, like one of the instruments he used. So it flagged it.
Mm,
But it wasn't like he ripped it, if that makes sense.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'll put the link to the. You don't have anything on your link tree? Where's the easiest, like, one link to find
Yeah.
everything?
I got a link tree. It's link tree backslash DSteezy.
I'll do that, and then they can find your music there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, thank you, my boy. Thank you for joining me again. Another Platica number 13. It's your boy Othree, and if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. I see ya when I see ya. Don't forget to love yourself today, all right? Adios.
Stepping out the door with some fresh 90s, the old whites, the drips nice. Yeah, I'm icy, but I don't wear eyes. Still a fool that looks fly. Got my button down on.